Hey everyone, Cheryl Ann here. I know it's been a while since I have made a video for you guys. Today's video is actually a requested video for a cut crease eye look. So I'm just going to be concentrating on my eyes for this look, and I'm actually only going to do one because I want you to see the difference on the eyes and how that makes it look. So this video was requested by Sarah. Hey Sarah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a lot out of this, and I hope you try this look for your next event or even just having fun. I'm going to go into everything with you and let you know what we're going to be using, and then I'll go into the technique. And if you have any questions on any of the products, where I bought them, how much they cost, that sort of thing, definitely message me and I will let you know. And that's not just for Sarah, that's for anybody watching this. So I'll go ahead and start with the products. First I'm going to tell you what I used on my face, and then I'll let you know the products that we need. So I used the Glorious Face and Eye Primer all over my face. This is actually an old one. We came out with a new one, but it works great. This is for the face and the eyes. We do have just an eye primer if you'd like that. But I like to stick with something that I can just use all over. So that's why I went with the Glorious Face and Eye Primer. And then I put on some Touch Press Powder Foundation from Unique in Organza. I also used the Skin Perfecting Concealer and covered up some of the redness in my face. I have rosacea on my cheeks. You can see there's no redness. This stuff works great. And then I put on some pressed powder bronzer, our Beachfront bronzer in Malibu, which is from Unique as well. And I also did some contouring just to kind of give you an idea of how you can do contouring with powder. And see, I do believe that's all that I've used so far. Just wanted to get my face mostly done for you, and then I can concentrate on the eyes. So we can do that. So what I'm going to use is the Glorious Face and Eye Primer and put that on my eyelids. And then we're going to go ahead and use also Skin Perfecting Concealer from Unique. My color is Organza. I tend to be light. I look a little bit darker because I do have bronzer on. Because it's the summertime and I do have a little bit of a tan. So we're going to go ahead and use that. We're going to use one of our new palettes, palette 4. And again, this is Unique. Most of these products I'm using are Unique. And we are going to also do the brows just to kind of show you what a filled in brow looks like. To me, that kind of completes the look. So we're going to be using the brow kit. We have the brow gel and the brow liner. Again, both from Unique. And I'll also be using the fiber lashes, 3D fiber lashes. You've got gel and you got the fiber. That's from Unique as well. And we'll do a eyeliner on the bottom lid with another Unique product. This is a precision eyeliner. This is in Perfect, which is the darkest color, black. Now a little bit different product we will be using on my upper lid to do a wing. This is Maybelline Eye Studio, and this is more of like a gel liner. You can see I've used this a lot, but I really haven't used much of the product itself. It's gel, it's not gonna spill over. It's really good for doing a wing. It actually comes with this little brush, which makes winging very handy and easy. And I really like using that product. Now, for the brushes, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about, I actually have, I use ELF brushes, ELF, for my eyes because it's very cost effective. I do want to get Unique products for my brushes as well. I just can't at the moment. So if you go to, I believe it's Target, they have these ELF brushes, and they've got the white handle. The great thing about these two is they say what they are. So what I typically use is the eyeshadow brush, the crease brush, the blending brush, and the smudge brush. And then what you can do, and I'll show you, I don't use this one that often, but it's a correcting brush. It's called a concealer brush. It's very small, and that's actually used for cleaning up certain areas. You can use it around your lips if you get a little bit of lip stain, lipstick, you know, it goes a little bit out of bounds and you'd like, you can always clean it up with this foundation brush. I'll show you how to use that as well if you need correcting. These brushes start at $1. And I think the most I have is like a $2 or $3 brush. So these are very affordable. I highly recommend them. They work great. If you lose one, it's not going to break the bank. So this is what I use. It's fantastic. So those, I believe, are all the tools that we're going to be using, all the products. So we'll go ahead and start using the Glorious Face and Eye Primer. And I just want to show you this real quick before I put it on. And I'm just going to use a dab because this is just, we're just going to do one eye. I don't want this video to be terribly long for you. This is what, let's see if we can get it in focus, the primer looks like. It looks really thick. It's almost like a gel, but it goes on so light. Just rub it between my fingers and I just apply it on my lid all the way up to the brow bone. You don't need to apply a lot, and you just kind of want to let that set for a few moments. So while that's setting, what I'm going to do is we're going to do brows first. Now, if you're not comfortable doing your brows on your own, not a problem. We actually have a product for that too. These are brow stencils. This is from Unique. It's actually a new product that we just came out with in our fall launch. And you can use these guides to show you which, you know, find out which brow shape you are, what you'd like to use. They're very flexible, made of plastic, easy to clean. And what you do is you just put it over your brow, just line it up, and see how it fits really well across, and then you can start filling in your brow. Wipe off the product, turn it around, and you can do your other brow. These are great. If you don't have brows, if you just draw them on, these are pretty much a must. And you've got 5 different brow styles to choose from. So it's really handy. I'm going to do mine by hand though. So I'm going to come in with a brow liner. It's got this handy little brow brush. I apologize about my hair being in the way. And I'm just going to go in, and again, I'm just going to do one eye, one brow for you guys so you can see. And you're just going to brush it across just to make it nice and even. Then you're going to come in with the liner. And by the way, I have medium hair, medium to dark brown hair. So I'm using the medium color. There's medium, dark, and light. And general rule of thumb, you want to go inside your brow line. If you need to come back out, that's fine. But this way you don't end up with really bushy looking eyebrows. Because sometimes we get like, oh, we'll go outside the line a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't work. And you can always work your way out if you want to go down a little bit further, just like so. And if there's areas that are a little sparse, you can come in here with the pencil and you just kind of fake little hairs. You just make like little strokes up. And then you just do this until you feel it looks nice and lined, nice and even. And you can already see how it's so much better than this brow. How sparse this one is. And then we'll come in with the gel. And I recommend if you're going to get this, you get these products as a kit. If you don't have brows, if you're just drawing them in, you don't really need the gel. You can just draw them in with the liner, but the gel really helps to fill them in and give it that nice, even look if you have brows. So there you go. Now, if you did make a mistake, you know, you can just wipe it off like that, or you can come back in with your concealer brush and put just a little dab of concealer on there and just clean it up if you need to, if it's not to your liking. But I'm happy with that. So what we'll go ahead and do next is I'm going to line my lower lid. So I'm going to use the Unique eye pencil in Perfect, and I just line my waterline. You can line this however you like. If you want to go below your waterline, you can do so. And I apologize for the blinking. I have contacts in, so it's not the product doing anything, it's just the air from hitting my contact. And you just go back and forth so you can see the difference that makes. It's subtle, but it's really, really nice. So adjust it as you like. If you're so inclined, what you can do to even make your top lid pop out a little more, you can lift it up and you can go right underneath your lash line there. I don't do that just because it interferes with my contact. But if you're comfortable doing that, go right ahead. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I like to highlight under my brow first. That's just my preference. I'm going to come into our palette 4. It's our shadow palette 4. I'll put links to these where you can buy this too if you'd like to purchase these items. We're going to come in here with Tender, which is the lightest color in this palette. And I'm actually going to come in with my finger. I just find it a little bit easier to work with under my brow. You don't have to, but this is just my preference. You can use any of the brushes. And just adds a nice little light highlight underneath. Okay, so the colors we're going to be using today are these 4 colors here. We've got the Tender, we've got Arrogant, we have Brave, and we have Secretive. It's hard to read backwards. Secretive. And this palette's nice because it's very earthy. You've got these earthy tones here, and then you've got more of these watery tones here, which are gorgeous. I usually mix and match these. It's awesome. But just for this purpose, we're going to use this. And just a little note on these palettes, they're wonderful. They fit in your pocket if you need to touch up during the day, if you're traveling. It's very compact. These palettes, the colors last quite a while. I know it doesn't look like it might be much color, but I had a palette I bought last October. I was using it every day for about 6 months, and I haven't even gone through half of that yet. They really last a long time, and I wear it almost every day. So let me go ahead. We're going to come in here with our crease brush. And this is kind of a tightly packed brush, rounded in the center. And general rule of thumb, you want to start light and you want to kind of go down. So what we're going to do is, actually we'll come back into Tender here. Let me just make sure my brush is cleaned off. You definitely want to make sure you start with clean brushes. So make sure, I would actually recommend cleaning your brushes at least once a week. But definitely between uses, wipe them off really, really well on a piece of paper towel. And a paper towel, the reason I say paper towel is because has ridges and it's a little on the rougher side, and that's really going to get the product off of your brush. And apparently I had a lot on there. I apologize, I should have done this ahead of time. Okay, so we're coming back in with this crease brush. I use this brush a lot. And we're going to come into the Tender. You want to load it up. You can either blow it or you can tap it. You don't want to put a whole lot on. And I'm going to come under the brow a little bit and just work my way down. Just like that. Just a little bit, just to get that color in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with Arrogant, which is right here. And you can do these, guys, you can do this with any colors you want. I'm just showing this because it was closest colors to the video that Sarah had seen the other day. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to go on my crease line. And I'm going to actually swoosh out a little bit at the edge, just like that. Okay. Now what you want to do is blend, blend, blend. Again, make sure your brushes are clean, or at least have the previous product off of them. So I'm just going to kind of get mine a little bit cleaner here. There we go. And I'm just going to blend this out. I know it looks like a kind of a little bit of a mess. Don't worry, you blend it out. And this is right. Now if you get a little on your lid, that's fine. That's not a problem. We're going to come back in with the concealer and put that on the lid. You're just going to blend, blend, blend until you get the desired effect. You don't really want any harsh lines. Just like that. And then now I'm actually going to come in here with my smudge brush because I want to get a little bit more precise in the crease. And this brush is really great for doing that. It's a tightly packed brush. It's short. It kind of looks like the eyeshadow brush, but it's shorter. And we're going to come in with the darker color, which is Brave. And Brave, oh, by the way, Arrogant and Brave, these two colors are matte. The Tender has a slight shimmer to it. I know it's hard to see on the camera. Brush it off or tap it off. You just want to get it on there. And you want to go right in the crease there. Just like that. Trying not to get it anywhere else, but if you do, it's okay. And again, bringing it out ever so slightly. So you're just kind of outlining the crease. Just like that. You can even go in a little bit further. And again, this is all to your desired effect. Now this is a really good video that Sarah picked to know how to do, because this is one that challenges me a little bit because I don't do this look that often. So it's always good to challenge yourself, try new things. You know, if you're not sure how something's gonna look, just try it out, just have fun with it first. Now this you're gonna blend, you're just gonna kind of tap it to blend it. And you're just gonna tap, tap, tap. Again, if you go a little bit lower than you wanted to, it's okay, we're gonna correct it on the lid. But basically, you can go back and forth a little bit just to get the product spread where you need it. And I'm thinking that looks okay. So we're basically having this dark shadow here and working it up a little bit. Now there's a sparse area kind of in the middle. I do want to get rid of that a little bit. So let me come back in with my smudge brush. Just ever so slightly. There we go. And again, you just correct until you have it the way you want it. Make sure I get the right brush, get the blending brush, and just blending it out. You can even bring it up a little bit and blend it up. There's even a little area here I wanted to blend out. So that's what you have right now. And honestly, I'm probably going to do this look a little bit more because I have hooded lids. So I tend to use my eyeshadow above my lid because you're able to see it a lot better. And right now I'm liking what I see. So thank you, Sarah, for having me do this video. This is pretty cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this. I'm going to take my concealer. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit on my hand. That's it. Just a very, very little amount. Again, you don't have to use these exact products that I'm showing you, but this is what I use. This is what makes it easier for me. You're going to take, well, actually, yeah, we're going to take the concealer brush. You can take, if you have another flat brush, you can use that as well. And we're just going to get it loaded on here. And this is going to go directly on your lid. Now what you want to do with this is you want to drag it across until you've got, don't go on the crease if you can help it. You just want to drag this across the lid, just like that. Again, this may take you a little time to practice. It's okay. Makeup really should be fun. It should be something that you try new things with, new techniques, and you have fun with it. And you're just dragging this across the lid. You don't want too much of the product because you just don't want, you know, to have cakey, crazy looking lids. And this is also too to clean up that line a little bit. Make it a little sharper, if you will. So just do it like that. Voila. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna let that dry just for a little bit. I'm gonna come back in with my eyeshadow brush. Now, in the video that I had seen this done, what was used was some gel or some like very light glue just for your eyes, and that was put on first, and then there was some glitter that was put on, and that's a great technique. That's a great product you can use. I don't have that, so I'm improvising with palette 4 again, and I'm going to use this very shimmery color called Secretive. It might be a little difficult to see. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. Let's see if we can see it. I'm going to put it on my hand, and actually I don't have primer on my hand, so it's going to be a little difficult to see. Yep, you're not going to be able to see that. You should be able to see it on my eye. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to load it up pretty heavily on this one. I'm not going to blow it off because I'm going to show you why, because we want a lot of product to make this look really shimmery. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to more dab this on. You can drag it a little as needed, but just little drags, more dabs. Little drags, more dabs. And you can use any color. If you want to use more of a silvery color, you can do that. I kind of want to stick with one palette just in case you just want to, you know, get one palette and do this look. You can. Just like that. You come out just a smidgen. Just like that. That's a nice bronzy finish. You can even do this, and if you have a little bit of glitter, you can take your finger and you can kind of pat it on there. I know it's difficult to see, but this light's not the greatest. But just so you can kind of get an idea of how that looks. And I actually really like it. So I've got that going there, and then what you can do is you come back with your blending brush if you need to blend it out a little bit. Maybe like so. A lot of times I'll just correct with my finger and I'll do that. If you want to come back in here, blend it out like so. And that's basically the cut crease cut crease eye look. If you want to do that, again, you can use any color. You just want to make sure you use a lighter color up here and then go in the crease with the darker color. Put on the concealer and then do more of a shimmery or even just a very light color, whatever you prefer. But I really like that. It's very earthy, very neutral tones. It's really pretty. Again, it is a little more sparkly. It's just hard to see in the camera, but it's really, really pretty. So now I'm going to come in with my eyeliner for the top lid. Again, this is Maybelline Eye Studio. This is the darkest color they have. This is Blackest Black. That's easy to know. And you just kind of want to load this up on the brush. It's a flat brush, which is nice. It makes doing your eyelining a little bit easier, at least for me. Now, this is something that gives people a lot of contention. There's different ways of doing this. You could tape off this area and then just kind of go over it with your liner. I'll do some more videos on that just so you can kind of see how it would look. But basically, you see you've got this little area here where your eyeshadow is. You kind of want to follow that line. So I like to do that line first. Come out from the corner of your eye and you follow that line up just like that. And then I come down, or across rather, into the lid, the eyelash area. Just like so. Let me actually get a little more product on here. There we go. I guess I just didn't have quite enough product. And then you come down. I like to just kind of drag it across here. Sometimes using the flat side is good for filling it in. You just want to go slow. You don't need to rush through this. If you're in a rush and you want to do your makeup, I suggest not lining your top lid because it will mess up. You got to do this nice, slow, and easy. And you can do as thick of a line or as thin of a line as you want. I would always start thinner because you can always make it thicker, but if it's too thick, it's really, really difficult to correct. Just like that. See? Not so bad. And if you even wanted to fill it in a little more, make it a little thicker, you can do that as well. It's all based on your preference, what you like to do. Okay, for me that looks fine. It's a nice little wing going on. You can take it out a little further too. Again, it's whatever your preference is. But I just want to show you that. Now, I'm actually going to come back in with my palette because I forgot to do my lower lid. And I'm going to come back in with this lighter color. I'm going to use my smudge brush again because smudge brush is really, really handy for doing your lower lid eyeshadow. Make sure that's my smudge brush. Okay, had a moment there. Here we go. Taking the smudge brush again, I'm going to come into this lighter color Arrogant. Load it up, blow off a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of come across under my lashes. And again, this is another thing that's preference. If you want to go all the way across, you can. If you just want to go more halfway, sorry, my context, you can. Another technique. Let me just get this to be a little bit more where I want it. Another technique you can do is you go halfway across and then you can come in with a lighter color, which I would use Tender. Load it up on there and come in from the corner. And that's actually going to brighten up your eye a little bit. Again, it's a little hard to see with my lighting. You can do that. You can also take it and put it in the corner. Just dab it. And that's going to brighten up your eye as well. Just like so. And this color you can load on a little bit because it's going to be so light. Okay, now go with the blending brush again and just kind of blend that together. Whoops. Just like so. There we go. That completes that eye. Gives a little bit of a smoky effect too. Now, the last part we're going to do, because to me this is the piece de resistance, which is the eyelashes. Now, if you like to use fake eyelashes and glue it on and try to do that stuff, that's fine. Go for it. I personally have a problem with that. It never goes right. I don't like the way it looks on me, and then I have to peel it off, and I don't like how that feels. So I'm using 3D fiber lashes, which kind of gives you the illusion of the lashes. It adds length, it adds fullness. It's wonderful. So we're going to apply the gel first. The rule is gel, fibers, gel. You can layer this on as much as you want, but you have to go gel, fibers, gel. And how I do it is you can curl your lashes first. I usually did mine ahead of time. And then I just use a back and forth motion just to make sure I get everything coated. You can go down if you'd like as well, but I usually don't do that. And then you want to come down to the bottom lash if you like. Again, this is all on what you prefer. I'm just showing you what I do. Just like that. Now you're going to go into the fibers, which looks like this. If there's some loose fibers on there, you can lightly blow them off. You can also roll them on the back of your hand if you prefer. But that just loosens them up a little bit. And then you just brush them on. And the gel pretty much acts like an adhesive, although it's not terribly tacky, it's not sticky, it's not... Oh, and that might happen, you just wipe it off. Sometimes I tend to do this a little too harsh. Let's get a few more fibers. And then I come into my bottom lashes. You can see already this adds so much fullness, so much length. It's amazing, really. Just like that. Love them, love them. Now, if you get a little too many, if it does clump up a little bit on you, which the fibers are so packed, sometimes it happens, lightly go over, back and forth on your lashes with your finger, and that's going to get off any of the excess. So, I rarely have to do that, but sometimes, you know, again, if I'm going a little fast. And then we come back in with the gel. And these bottles are labeled, but the bigger one's the gel, the smaller one's the fibers. It's the best way to remember. And also another little tip, if you're so inclined, you can take a little bit of pigment on your hand. You can roll this in there, and you can actually have colored eyelashes. It's so cool. I'm perfectly fine with the darker eyelashes, but you know what? Everyone has their preference. So look at that. I mean, look at the difference between these eyes. This is why I wanted to do just one eye to show you all what it looks like. So you can also see the completed look. We got the eyebrow, we've got that cut crease look, we've got the wing, and we've got the lashes. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys a close-up just to see. Really see those lashes too. And I'm going to close my eyes just so you can see that look better. So I hope